Welcome everybody, I'm Ed Cruz and welcome to the last lesson. Today's subject, I think episode 24 I believe, which is basically called The Simple Game. And the reality of it all is that Wingchun is very simple. The combat system in itself is designed so perfectly, I think, that the confusion is how to go about applying it in the right perspective. So while there's a lot of detail that can go into how fighting in Wingchun goes about, I want to talk more about the development aspect of it as far as Chi Sao and the ultimate goal at the end of it is what you get the result of from doing Chi Sao. So if you can picture this, the formula in everything that you do when you're practicing with your partner in double sticky hands or Chi Sao is always the same, and whether you're attacking or blocking, you always apply the same concept. So picture or try to picture this idea first. First, you have a square body, right? Square body, and the detail of that we can go into more because there actually is more detail to it. But let's keep it simple and let's see what the main goal is when I say this is all you do every single time, whether you're attacking or blocking in Wingchun. So if you imagine you have a square body, for now, just imagine that you as an individual is doing a push-up, right? If I do a push-up, and I'm going in this direction, everything's so even. Everything's so even, right? So even this perspective, I'm doing an even push-up. Even if my hands were offset like this, let's say it's offset like this, notice I'm still pushing myself even though my hands are offset. So in that sense, what that squareness is very vital and important in Chun. Notice we don't fight to the side like this. We fight basically square, and everything that we develop is based off that concept. So think of this: the square body leads to the triangle. The triangle is basically your hand formation. When we hold our guard hand, this is the triangle formations. As simple as this: two wusao slightly cocked, and then you have your triangle formation. So square body leads to a triangle. Now these triangles thus apply basically to 50-50. In other words, both sides are equivalent. So there's something to go into depth regarding the triangle. That, for example, if the triangle think of it, if you can picture this triangle in this fashion, but inside this triangle is a balloon, right? This balloon keeps this triangle inflated. In the sense that, for example, if you see my hands in this nature, all of a sudden my hand goes like this. This balloon that exists within the triangle of my hands is actually improper. A lot of times you hear people say, you gotta have the structure, you have to have the triangle, but you actually see in application, there's no triangle actually being applied when doing that. In actual functionality, when the triangle does exist, if, for say, your hand goes like this and then you switch over, you're like, oh, my hand flowed with the motion, I went with it, and yada, yada, yada. But in reality, good triangle, a functional triangle, has a certain kind of inflation within it. So in other words, you'll feel the existence of this sensation in the hand. So as soon as this force comes in, it doesn't just collapse and then all of a sudden you roll hands. If this force actually comes in like this, you feel that squeeze, and what you basically do, right, is that you basically adjust the hands to maintain that triangle in the direction. Maybe I roll in this direction, maybe I maintain this direction, but I don't ever collapse the triangle and then just simply go with the flow. You see that all too often when people are doing Wingchun. So think of it again, if we break this down, square body leads to what? A triangle, right? Square body leads to a triangle that's properly inflated of equal sides. And why is the equal sides so significant then? Like I was showing you earlier with the 50-50, because that's how we basically decide everything that we deal with. When we enter into a situation or fighting hand range, right? We ask within the triangle, whatever force comes in, the triangle meets. And with it, basically, the opponent will always feel an even wall. So he's like, do I attack on the left side? No, it's even. Do I attack on the right side? No, it's even. The wall is even. But we, as the Wingchun practitioners, when we ask that individual, can you deal with my structural triangle, right? If the opponent cannot deal with a triangle, with an oncoming triangle, with another triangle, he'll basically be uneven. So in other words, imagine it being 50-50 like this. All of a sudden now it's 70-30. with that unevenness and me still maintaining my evenness from that point on, that is my signal right away to basically, if there's less pressure on this side, I go on this side because I'm coming in at this flat wall ability. If there's less pressure on this other side, I go on this side. So basically, that is a game I do every single time. I attack, I ask with my triangle, are you square? Can you deal with this triangle? If he answers square with another triangle of his own, then I adjust again, and then I ask him again, and that process keeps going on and on and on. But the moment I enter with my triangle, and then his side ends up being uneven, well, guess what? That basically tells me to go with the flow, and then that leads me to my attack. It is no different if the attack is coming in. I basically square body, triangle properly inflated, even on both sides. He comes in, I maintain my triangle, and then I drill towards the force, keeping it even. So he can't go to the left side, he can't go to the right side, I just simply drill the force off to the center. So think about that a little bit. I know there's a lot, actually, I tried to simplify it as much as possible. There is a lot of depth to that, but square body leads to a triangle that's properly inflated, that's equal sides. You do that every single time from attack to block, all right?